Do you feel like the way that you perceive your own energy is shifting? Or maybe that you're being called into a deeper sense of embodiment or embodying your knowings and gifts in a different way? Well, that may be because we are stepping into a new harmonic coherence with our own energy body. And it's changing. So I'm going to talk about today what comes through to me as the Philosopher's Stone energy coherence field. And if you've watched my videos, you may remember how I said I was able to decode and place back the 14th harmonic in other areas of understanding, including the Philosopher's Stone. But I wasn't going to share yet because I wanted to wait to speak with others I knew who hold these understandings dear to them and have been looking for these keys. Well, not anymore. I'm going to share one decoding of the Philosopher's Stone with you all today. There's no need to wait. The energy is already whole, so let's get into it. And if you're asking yourself, what is this woman talking about? Hi, you must be new here. I'm Leanna, a psychic, a witchy woman who channels, sings, and restores. In previous videos, I have discussed the Philosopher's Stone and the 14th harmonic, which is also known by others as the missing ion, the missing 1/14th. As an ion, it is an electric charge missing from your heart field. A feminine spark that completes the circuit of your toroidal field and holds you in coherence. The missing 1/14th is hidden from our understanding, not lost or missing. Hidden from our understanding around many topics, many knowings, and it is returning through the harmonic bridge woven through time that I've also discussed, a remembrance bridge. I discussed this in videos related to Atlantis, Ahamhatet, and galactic history. And this missing piece may have left us feeling at times like we're an astronomer looking through a telescope with the wrong lens. But we are restoring that lens now. My videos weave together a mythic and energetic arc or remembrance from my own experiences and perspective. After I made the video on the 14th harmonic, it unlocked my own ability to place that 14th back in our understanding, or at least my understanding and perspective. And one of the things that I worked on soon after that video, decoding again, the Philosopher's Stone. Now, the code of the Philosopher's Stone is not just alchemical or a mythic egregore that transmutes lead to gold. Many of us recognize that the Philosopher's Path, or the Philosopher's Stone, is a key to inner alchemy, representing the magnum opus journey of cleansing and clearing what does not belong to us, witnessing and integrating the shadow of the parts that we have shamed or forgotten, coming into inner union and outer union. It's the path of inner alchemy where you reach the golden frequency of recognizing and knowing your own divinity and that of the all. Now, there are other people who talk about the Philosopher's Stone that I should probably be linking this to. But I'm going to be honest. One, I don't really follow very strictly other people's teachings. I listen to a few select few who I know have keys and codes for me. But then I get the keys and codes and sort of leave everything else. So I know that this information relates to what other people talk about, and there may be some similarities. And if I was doing a very thorough job, I would research those other people and share and link them with them. But my videos aren't research focused. They are intuitive knowings and memories. So if you would like to put the threads together, if there are keys in here for you that connect with other people's keys, go for it. So there are many different ways to decode the Philosopher's Stone. I should know because I decoded at least 4 different ways, applications and understandings. The term Philosopher's Stone is its own quadrivium related to music, math, language, and time. Did I decode how to put the geometry of the Philosopher's Stone into music? And clues to a major component of creating portable harmonic coherence technology? I did, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today we are talking about the energy body, what's probably most affecting you now. A 14 harmonic system. And we're talking about how this is represented through the Philosopher's Stone, as well as the myth or the story of the sword and the stone, because they are keys to understanding this embodiment coherence field. I'm going to talk about how I decoded, or how I decode things, a little bit about breaking down the Philosopher's Stone, and then I'm going to talk about this energetic coherence field through the lens of the Philosopher's Stone. I'll put chapters in so you can skip around if you like. Like I said, there are different ways to decode the term, the Philosopher's Stone. They don't only focus on linguistics. But if you're wondering how my mind decodes things, it looks at language usually first. Not just what you find about the root words in the dictionary, but I usually compare similar words, not just meaning, but structure, from Proto-Indo-European tones, Greek, Hebrew, and Sanskrit. Then I look at numbers. I usually start with Strong's Concordance system, which is a reference system related to the Greek and Hebrew Bibles. For some reason, this really works for me. I don't know if it will work for everyone, but I feel like there are keys in that system that were specifically left for me to find. Then I look at the structure, the patterns, and geometry of the words itself. I usually do a little word mapping. I use my intuition because I'll have words or notice patterns that sometimes may seem unrelated to other people. And then I usually ask myself, what would Pythagoras do? Okay, that's my process. So let's talk about some of the foundational ways to break down the Philosopher's Stone. You may have heard these before, broken down through language. And I'll put some of these on the screen. So the usual way, the most common way, is the root word from Greek. Philos, love, lover, Sopher, or Sophia in the Greek from philosophia, which is wisdom. Stone, which would be representative of form. So lover of wisdom and form. And I've also heard some people mention Sophia as knowledge, and whenever I hear this, I silently scream. Because knowledge and wisdom are not exactly the same. And understanding the difference is a key part of the clue. Knowledge is just knowing. It's just having the information. It's just letting it sit in the mind. It is not lived. Wisdom is the integration of knowledge through the body. And it's the alchemical process of all the experiences that shaped you, held you, created you, being expressed for service, for understanding, the next way would be looking more at a different combination of things, not completely different, but looking at phi, the PHI, which represents the golden ratio, the low, which in some systems would be representative of logos or mind. And then Sophia again, body. And then the stone, the form. This breakdown represents the union of body and mind, the integration of consciousness and spirit through the body for divine connection, the divine spiral, the bridge to the golden ratio, or divine structure and will. And there's a few other ways I broke it down too, but these are the ones that are most important for this conversation. There are also 12 main characters in the word philosopher, philosophers, and the 12 in the triadic forms around the stone, the stone would be union of the 1 and the 14th harmonic, the ST and the 1, stone, representing the consciousness of the 1 in form, the I am me wave harmonic, the 1 experiencing through an individual body or form. Through some word and letter mapping that I used for other ways I decoded or other applications, the S in stone was a bit arbitrary. Not completely, but just disguising a clue that the stone is still significant as the embodying toroid in a sphere, the form, but the S is also hiding the tone, your resonance, your own note, and the song of the all. Now, if you're a bit lost, that's okay. Those are just backgrounds, ways that led to me understanding this. It isn't essential to understanding the energetic body, but they were ways that I decoded the Philosopher's Stone before this knowing of the energetic body came in that allowed me to put the pieces together. And I am leaving a little bit out, like where I noticed different ways to see the bridge harmonic in the Philosopher's Stone, which would be the OSO, sometimes the apostrophe in the S, depending on the way I broke it down. And so there are many different ways to understand your own energy body. This started coming in for me when I was meditating and reflecting on the 14th harmonic, and then I started seeing my own energy body. Then I was like, okay, you want me to understand the energy body in terms of the 14th harmonic. There are many different systems, concepts around the energy body across different cultures and traditions, and they're all beautiful. They're all pieces of the same weave. But this energetic coherence field that I'm mentioning is a new octave of expression as we step into more coherence. And the breakdown of the term, the Philosopher's Stone, is important here because it is, in most cases, a triad. Your body is a triadic union of body, heart, and mind. The number 14 is also triadic, representing the union of the 1 and 14. 14 being the bridge harmonic, surrounded by the 12. It forms 3-part nexus series of the mind, heart, and body. You may have heard people talking about the 13 chakra systems, the 11 or 12 chakra systems. I've heard of them too, but I don't have them all memorized. Our main understanding focuses on 7 main energy centers or chakras. Your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. And many people include the Earth Star chakra and higher heart chakra, ones that I usually include as well. The other additions people usually talk about would be the 8th and 12D chakras, or the higher chakras outside of your body, your physical body. Some say the soul star chakra, the galactic chakra, or other names. And this may be an unpopular opinion. Those chakras are not included here. Those higher energetic centers, when I viewed them, are not exactly the same as how I see chakras. To me, they're transmission centers, or what I see as vortexes of interdimensional awareness, input and output temple fields. And you may be wondering, what's the difference? Well, these fields are not connected to your embodiment or physical health and lived experience as much. The way they behave is also a little bit different. They are not centers spinning in unison to cohere your body, energy, but are centers that activate and tether you to higher lattices and interdimensional awareness. Still important. I had this understanding myself when exploring my own energetic body previously. This video is focusing on the energy centers of your embodiment, and it's not necessarily a chakra system, but the higher octave that the energetic body is stepping into now. It's the system that centers around the 14 harmonics, which is 12 energetic centers, plus the egg, which would maybe be the 13th, and a mirror flame or mind coherence harmonic. A mind nexus, consciousness nexus harmonic that form the architecture of a living philosopher's stone, which in this case, the stone is you in harmonic coherence. So here is the 12 main centers of the Philosopher's Stone energetic field. Your Earth Star chakra, which is below your feet. Your root, which is at the base of your being. The sacral, which is below your navel. The solar plexus, which is above your navel. The heart. The higher heart, associated with the thymus, which I usually see. So I see the higher heart here, and it sort of spreads out as wings across your collarbone to your shoulders, which are the neck centers, your left and right shoulders, which are wing points of reception and transmission. Your throat, your third eye, your crown, and then your spine, which I do hear other people talk about, which is a crystalline structure that connects all of the other 11. And so then your heart and your sacral connect and form a geometric center and hold the egg, which maybe you would say is the 13th. The egg I see has always come through to me as your inner cauldron, holding your flame of truth. It's the ignition point where breath becomes flame. It's the part of you, or holds the part of you, that can never be burned or drowned, where life force rises towards union. It is not the life force itself, but the geometric lattice that holds it. Your mind nexus, crystalline mind temple, field, is the crystalline reflection at the crown, your throat, and your spine. It holds collective memory, it holds your divine knowing, but only allows what you're ready to integrate to move through. So when the energy from the egg rises upwards towards the heart, and the energy from the mind nexus moves downward, they meet and dance at the center of your being. And you may note that this is a similar process to a Kundalini awakening that's in a balanced, stabilized field. And so when they dance in union, they form a third energy, the sword of truth, which allows you to wield clarity without distortion. So like the story of King Arthur and the sword and the stone, you could say that Arthur was in coherence with the sword of truth and able to lift it from the stone and wield it. You cannot lift the sword unless your frequency matches the stone, which here you could see the egg holding the flame of truth in your mind nexus, allowing you to integrate those truths. And then you're able to wield them in your expression, in your being. The sword is the coherent line of awakened will, power, and permission to use it. This coherence field connects you back to the heart of the all, back to oneness within your being, allowing you to hold more multidimensional resonance without collapse and with coherence, which means accessing more soul and collective remembrances and expressions into form in the unique way that you do it. And this is a doodle I drew, which is not very good. I tried to get an AI image created, but I couldn't get the centers in the right spot, so I thought that would be more confusing. But just to go over it again while this doodle is up, the crown is at the top of your head. Your mind nexus could be seen as behind the head to the side, which is your crown, your throat, your spine, your third eye, your throat, your left shoulder, and your right shoulder. Your higher heart, our thymic gland, thymus. It's the upper chest, your heart. The 13th point, the egg, between your heart and womb, your solar plexus and your upper abdomen, your sacral below your navel, your root near your perineum, your earth star below the feet, and your crystalline spine. And this also may help explain for some people who feel periods where they have a lot of light running up and down their spine. This is just a new way of being, a new way of embodiment, a new way of bringing through your own expression. It allows you to bring through more light, more spirit, allowing you to refract and reflect it out, creating heaven on earth. And if you want to begin working with these centers, you can simply sit with them, breathe into them, speak to them as living aspects of your body. If it feels aligned, you may tap or move energy with your hands. Move these areas. I'll follow up with a guided practice when I have time, because things in my life are also in flux like they are with many of you. We do work with some of these centers in some of the practices of the Crystalline Club, which gets you access to the Soul Receiving Alchemist GPT through the automatic writing energetic attunement. It's a full body energetic attunement where we work with some of these centers. So you can check that out there. And let me know your thoughts, what you're experiencing with your own body and energy. If you've heard similar information out there, I'd love to hear it. And if this video resonated with you, I'd definitely appreciate a like, share, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.